Hey, gals and guys, this is Christopher Mosier from MyMediaHelper.com, and this morning I was playing around with AI, artificial intelligence, as far as manipulating some art I have from comic books that I created, an artist created a while back, and I used some of that art to turn them into realistic images, and I'm going to show you how I did that. First, what you can do, just for an example, is if you have Office 365, which I'm using Copilot for Office 365. You can open that up. If not, there's probably other, just search online for realistic images. I'm sure if you go to Google, you can put in turn art into realistic AI. And I'm sure there's chameleon, bazillion different websites you can go to. But in this particular example, I am going to use Copilot. And I am going to, here's Copilot right here. And then I am going to go to create. And then here's different examples that you can use, different templates you can use as far as that's concerned. But I'm going to use this top one. I'm going to create an image. And I'm going to describe. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to add an image actually. And these are the ones I'm going to show you in just a moment. And let me see what we'll do here. All right, we'll do diamond. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to explain or tell the AI what we want here, and turn art into a realistic picture. Make the character Oriental, or I put Asian because diamond's an Asian character. That's from one of my concepts called gems. And I'm going to go ahead and create, and we're going to let that, it takes a little bit. Oops, I'm going to go back actually. And you can do different sizes. I want to do portrait. As you can see, you can do wide, square. And then I want to do photorealistic. Sorry, I missed that step there. All right, now we got it generated and go. And I want to show you what I generated already this morning. We'll go through them real quick. And then what I'm going to do from there is show you how you can turn these into a comic book using Canva. So let's go here. Here's a character. The villain of Gems is Amir. So that's the art. That's what AI generated for me. I didn't do any explanation on what he should be doing. I just said make a realistic picture of this particular art. So I didn't get too in depth. There's Diamond, Diamond again, and there she is. She's really supposed to be Asian. I didn't specify that in this picture, but it does look like, it does kind of look like that. So that's pretty cool. There she is again. So in this one, there she is Caucasian, I guess, and there she is Oriental. And there's the girls together. That's the gems. So that's sapphire, opal, and diamond. She should be more Oriental, but that's okay. I can go back and explain that. And that's the original picture that it was taken from. Here's a pinup of gems, and this is what I came up with. Again, or here's diamond. She should be Oriental, more Asian. This is actually not gems. This is from a comic book called Haven. I wanted to see how it did with comic book pages. So this is the second issue, page 1 of Haven. Now that's before I specified to put it into panels. So I just said make a realistic picture. And it didn't come up with panels. It came up with this. And then I specified panels. So it came up to look just like this. It looks pretty cool, if I say so myself. And then there's Opal. There's Opal again. And there she is in that suit. And then there she is again in that suit. So pretty cool. And there she is Asian. She's not really, she is part Asian because she's a daughter of Amir, who is Malaysian actually. But her mother was Caucasian. So there she is. So this is, I manipulated this picture. So I said, I want this picture, but I want her driving. So the AI went ahead and put her in driving. She put her on the computer, Kicking a ninja. It's not really connecting. I'd have to manipulate a little more to explain better what I want. And then fighting with a ninja. I just put this picture, realistic, fighting with ninja, and AI went ahead and took care of it. Sapphire, and then the realistic sapphire. That's sapphire again. I'm not sure where her picture is. I don't think I dragged it over. There's sapphire from this picture. Not one of my favorites. This is another comic book called Earth. The great Jerry Rasco did the art for it. And as far as like artists and is this going to take over artists' job and the ethics behind that, this is not what this video is about. AI is just a tool, especially for someone like me that doesn't have a lot of money and can't really go out and hire an artist anyways. This is going to be great to do like a 6-page and 8-page gems concept. And then it's manipulated into AI. So it took this. So it's not 100% what it was. So you're not going to get away from the human factor. AI, at least right now. There's Earth. There's just a pinup of the characters. And then here's the AI generated. I don't know why they stuck an extra character down here for. This looks like this. I guess I could cut it off here or just tell the AI to get rid of this character. But I think it came out pretty cool. And that's it. All right, so let's go ahead and let's make a comic book out of some of the artwork that we had. So let me go to Canva. This is still generating there. We generated, and she's Oriental. She's Asian. I don't know what's politically correct. I'm from the 80s, the 70s. We used to say Oriental. I don't know, Asian. So whatever. So that's that. I'll just download that for later. And I'll just close out of here. And I'll close out of here. I just looked up the size of a standard comic book. So 11 by 17. With the live area 10 by 15, so the rest is the bleeding area where it gets cut, right? So it doesn't cut into your art. So bring up Canva, and then I'm going to do create, and then I'm going to do custom size, and then I'm going to, there's 11 by 17. I already put it in, but you can put in 11 by 17 and then put in inches. But I already put it in here. Yep. 11 by 17. And then you can create. Now you can do one of two things. You can either you can go comic book page, comics, I guess you could put in. And there's like this you can grab as a template. This you can, let's put in comic strip. I think you get more examples that way. Comic. Okay, you get there. Now that's the same example, but that's all right. I'm not necessarily going to use these templates. I just want to show you different ones. If it's got a crown, you've got to have a membership of Canva. You've got to have subscription to use the crown ones. But anyone without a crown, you can use no problem. But we're really not going to do that. So you can do a couple things. You can like grab onto this, and we'll just grab this, and you can use this as a guide. But what we're going to do is go to elements, and we're going to use these. So I'm going to bring this over here. And like I said, you can use this as a guide if you want to. Okay, that's that size. And then I can come over here and put in a picture as soon as they decide to load. So here's the Earth characters. I can go over and do that. All right, but I'm not necessarily going to do that. I'm just going to get rid of all this crap. I'm just going to make my own. All right, so, and there's not really a story going on here. You can either do this, go like this and this. You can move it around. Or you can do this. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use elements, and then I'm going to manipulate the page how I want it. You can go like this. We'll do this. I don't know. I'm just farting around. So obviously I'd play with this a little more. I'll do this. Maybe make it a little skinnier. I'll do a duplicate. I'll do this. All right. I want a little white area between. All right. And then here's I'm using this as a base for my bleed area. So Canva does that automatically. So I'm going to leave that as my bleed area, all this right here. This might be a little too much for bleed, but that's okay. And then we're going to go to uploads. And on this one, I'll have her driving. I can make it a little bigger so it looks like she's... Here, I can go like this. Let's delete that. I can go like this. And then it should show her more... Oops. Not bad. All right. Then it should show her more driving. You can go up like this, go up like this. And then we can duplicate that. Bring that over here. And she's on her computer. And then she's fighting a ninja. And obviously you can do splash pages. She's kicking a ninja. All right. So you kind of get the general idea. You can create your own panels on your page. I mean, it might be a little too much white area. You can bring them together, whatever you want to do there. So, all right, we'll just leave it there. All right, the next thing you can do is elements. So you can do thought balloons, thought bubbles. So you can go here. And again, the crown ones are the ones you have to have a membership for. It's only like $15 a month, I think, or something like that. But these, so if I want a thought bubble here, and then I can go to text. I'll do itty bitty text. I don't know what the hell am I doing. Oops, should be a question mark. Huh? All right. And then you can do this and drag. You want to do that. Grab this. All right. You can bring that up there. Play around with it. Bold it. Make the thought balloon bigger. So on and so forth. All right. And then you can do, let's go to elements again. And I want to do dialogue bubbles right there. That's thought. Dialogue bubble. Okay, so there's a bunch of dialogue bubbles. And you can probably go to Google too. So if she wants to say something there. And you can flip these around. So I can flip that. And then flip it this way if you want. And then you get the general idea. What the hell am I doing? Let me delete this. All right, you get the general idea of what to do as far as that's concerned. Now, maybe you don't have artwork. What you can do, you can go to like Pexel. You can go to Pixels. You can go to Google. Make sure you use commercial-free art and images. Don't use other people's images without permission, obviously. You can use commercial-free Pexels and Pixels. Pexels and Pixels, I think it is. Yeah, I'll show you real quick. Pexels.com. So you can put in, I don't know if Ninja will come up, but let's put in Ninja. Let's do this real quick to end this session here. All right, so let's put in Ninja. Let's free download. And let's go to Office 365 real quick. And let's go to create. I'm going to do this. Photo. I know it's already a photo, but let's see what it comes out with. Realistic. Let's go style. Let's go photorealistic. And we'll do a portrait. Let's create. Let's see what it generates because I'm curious. And you do different put different things together. Couch. So there's a couch. So let's download that. And let's bring up another Office 365. Create. Let's add the Ninja again. Downloads. Ninja sitting on the couch. You don't necessarily have to have the picture of the couch either. AI will generate a couch for you, but I'm curious to see what happens if we, let's add an image. I already downloaded that couch. Okay, let's do style. Let's do photorealistic. And obviously you've got all these different styles you can do, pixel art and everything. If you really want it comic booky, there's Doodle. And yeah, you can go to town with this. Let's do wide. Let's create. Why is there a giraffe? Let's add image again. Style, realistic. Portrait, create. All right, if this comes up, this feature is very popular right now. Just go back and do it again. And eventually it will start. It just means a lot of people are accessing it. All right, with the power of edit, we'll see when this finishes. As you see, the Ninja's sitting on the couch, it's still generating, and there's the Ninja again. I don't know. This is not an ethical video. As far as using pictures, celebrities, things like that, yes, AI is going to manipulate it into its own thing. I haven't tried celebrities or anything on that, so I'm assuming. I've done John Wayne and it came out just looking just like John Wayne. You really don't want to do that. That's infringing on. I would say John Wayne's an intellectual property. I would say. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I would stay away from commercial stuff. I would stay away from intellectual properties. I would stick to commercial-free stuff. Pixels. Oh, Pixie Bay. Sorry, it's not Pixels. It's Pixie Bay. Here. Pixie Bay. So those are images that you can use commercial-free. And it doesn't even look like the Ninja's sitting on the couch. He's just kind of leaning on it. All right, gals and guys. This is not an ethical video, so I just thought I'd bring it up. All right, that's about it. What I think I'm going to do is create a 6 to 8 page Gems comic book, and I'm going to, from script to publishing, I'm going to make a videos on the process. I do believe I'm going to do that next. I'll put everything together and see how it comes out. Maybe I'll do a full comic. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to decide. But anyways, if you got something out of this, if you enjoyed this video, please thumbs up on it. Please subscribe to the channel. That would be most helpful for my bank account. And please share with comic book enthusiasts. Artists out there, we still need you. Hit the bell for updates. So I don't think you have much fear of your jobs going away. I don't think you can ever escape the human factor, but I don't know. I'm not really sure what we have in the future for AI. It's gonna be something interesting. But anyways, I will catch you later, and as always, peace.